Renaissance man GM Rob Pelinka, Kobe's former agent, is trying to revitalize the Lakers. El Segundo, California. If you didn't know, Rob Pelinka was one of the most important people in this post-Kobe Bryant Lakers era. The yin to Magic Johnson's yang in the front office, overhauled by owner Jeanie Buss in February. You might mistake him for one of those well-to-do fans who watches from his front row seat at Staples Center. At least on this day. The team's 47-year-old general manager, the Rob Lowe lookalike who went to 3 Final Fours with the Fab Five teams at Michigan and later spent 18 years as Bryant's agent before making this massive career turn, is dressed head to toe in purple and gold as he sits inside the Lakers' new $80 million training center. The Nike shoes. The hooded sweatshirt. The high-end sweatpants. It's Casual Friday where approximately 150 Lakers employees work, and Pelinka, who's watching their team's latest practice from a second-story loft that features a plate glass window, can see his role on this revamped squad more clearly than ever. When I walk through the front door, I always remind myself that, on this day, you're not more important than anyone else in what we're trying to accomplish here, Pelinka told USA Today Sports recently. If you look at it that way, and if you lead with support and service, man, you end up having a really incredible impact and a great day. That's what I've experienced. I knew, when I took the job, that the way that Magic and I flow together is he loves to cast the vision, and then my background is more to be the implementer, to be the chess piece mover. As a lawyer, as a type A personality, I love to come up with the strategy and the plan to effect the vision. And so being able to service and support that, and what Jeanie sees, to kind of cast the vision for the franchise, that's what I love. The love will flow in Bryant's direction Monday, when both his number 8 and number 24 jerseys are retired and the relevance earned through 20 years and 5 championships is on full display. Yet this event aside, the Lakers know there's no more time for nostalgia. It's no secret which vision they would love to see fulfilled, of course. In July, not long after likely missing the playoffs for a 5th consecutive time and just the 9th time since the franchise moved to Los Angeles in 1960, they're hoping LeBron James, and perhaps Paul George, decide to save Lakerland by signing in free agency. Add them to the young core, Lonzo Ball, Kyle Kuzma, Brandon Ingram, Julius Randle, Jordan Clarkson and company, and they're on their way. All those years of unprecedented struggles, from Bryant's painful twilight years to the youth movement that began amid a Buss family power struggle, would be forgotten as they returned to prominence. And they'd have Magic in his formal role and Bryant, who first signed Pelinka as his agent in 1998 and counts him as one of his closest friends, to thank. Somewhere, even exiled executives Jim Buss and Mitch Kupchak would have to nod with approval at how the Laker brand had been restored. Heck, even LeVar Ball might be impressed. In a way, Pelinka is trying to accomplish what Bryant couldn't. In the final years of Bryant's legendary career, when injuries piled up and summers went by without a prominent free agent coming to aid his embattled cause, it became clear the allure of the Lakers logo wasn't enough. But as Pelinka learned in August, when he was fined $500,000 for prematurely recruiting George, next summer can wait. Between his time connecting with the coaching staff and players or prepping for trade season ahead of the February 8 deadline, he has spent recent months pursuing other titans of industry as a way of creating a more inspired culture. If they're going to have a renaissance here, why not learn a few things from, well, modern-day Renaissance men? Genius talks, as they call them, started with a visit to Elon Musk's SpaceX lab in nearby Hawthorne in mid-October. The man leading the push to colonize Mars showed them his rockets and his groundbreaking technology, then led a discussion about universal truths of success. It was like going to the set of Iron Man, just unbelievable, Pelinka said. The players were just amazed. It was the coolest thing. One of the guys said, to Musk, "Well, we play against other teams, so how do you study your competition, or what's your way of staying number one?" And he said, "My competition is irrelevant to me. If what I'm doing, I do excellently, then it doesn't matter." And so you pick up little things like that. Then came Jeffrey Katzenberg, the Hollywood mogul who co-founded DreamWorks and was the head of Disney Studios from 1984 to 1994 and who met with the Lakers in November. He told the players, "You know, when I was making the movie Raiders of the Lost Ark, I had a mantra in my head, and it was exceed expectations," Pelinka said. He said, "I wanted to sit in the back of the theater when the kids were watching, and I wanted them to be jumping out of their seat. I wanted to exceed their expectations." Rare. LeBron James' passing prowess puts him in rarefied NBA position. Ex-Cavs coach David Blatt, Kyrie Irving's trade request was brave. NBA Week 8 conclusions, the Thunder won't trade Paul George or fire Billy Donovan. Kendrick Lamar, the celebrated rapper who grew up in nearby Compton, might be up next. And while it's not the same as welcoming future Hall of Famers to town, it will have to do for now. Magic and I wanted to identify geniuses in their space, Pelinka explained. Our core belief is that more developed men make better basketball players. I think Magic, if you look at how diversified he is with his interests. Kobe, the guy studies everything under the sun. I'm reading a biography right now on Leonardo da Vinci, and he has the ultimate curiosity of all things. If he's painting a hummingbird, he wants to take its tongue and see what it looks like so he can paint it. So geniuses in life, right, can inspire us on how to be better. So once a month, we try to do that, and the reason that it, to me, is important, is it shows the way we're really trying to do things differently, and it gets back to what I said at the beginning, support and service. How can we bring things to the guys to make them better human beings and better Lakers basketball players? Not to mention the message it might send to prospective free agents. Players know if you come here, like happened for Magic, like happened for Kobe, and you succeed as a Laker, the doors that being a star in this city opens around the globe just can't be matched, Pelinka acknowledged. I think it's an example of that. Jeanie harbored serious reservations about the previous regime, and as she met with Pelinka over lunch, the two agreed on a shared vision for free agency. No more annual assumptions that the top players would be coming, guys like Kevin Durant and LaMarcus Aldridge and Carmelo Anthony who all rejected their courtships. No more haphazard roster moves that eroded the fanbase's faith and led to a steep decline in television ratings. And no more of the great divide between Jeanie on the business side and everyone else in the basketball department. Jeanie, whose affinity for Bryant shouldn't be forgotten when analyzing her decision to hire Pelinka, was going with people she believed she could count on. Her 38-year friendship with Magic is well chronicled. During those glory days when her father, Jerry, was turning the Lakers into a new gold standard for the league off the floor and Magic was leading the way on it, Jeanie was getting her business degree at USC and learning the ways of the pro sports world elsewhere. President of the Great Western Forum, General Manager of the World Team Tennis Los Angeles Strings, owner of the Los Angeles Blades roller hockey team. But Pelinka, who represented Kobe for 18 of his 20 years in the NBA and also had former Lakers Derek Fisher and Trevor Ariza as clients, was also someone she knew and trusted. What's more, the fact he didn't work for an NBA team meant Jeanie could recruit him without seeking the kind of formal permission that would have tipped off Jim Buss and Kupchak to her plan. We were having lunch one day, just casually, and she says, "Well, Magic is amazing at casting the vision, and big picture stuff, but I need a cap expert, I need someone who understands the business of the NBA, someone who can implement his vision," and she was like, "Someone like you, Rob," Pelinka remembered. From there, it was just like a light bulb went on for everybody and it just unfolded. Pelinka saw it as an opportunity he couldn't pass up, even if it meant leaving his agency, Landmark Sports, and all the clients that came with it, James Harden, Eric Gordon, and Andre Iguodala, to name a few. The deep connection to Bryant made the move seem natural, but there was also a serendipitous element. When Pelinka was 10 and growing up outside Chicago, his late father used some of his school teacher salary to get tickets to a Northwestern Michigan State game, and he happened to run into the man he would later partner with in this endeavor. The seats were way up in the top, but I remember walking to the game, and for some reason I went by the Michigan State bench, and I gave 5 to Magic, and he gave me 5, Pelinka said. That was a lightning bolt moment for me, and now to think that I work next to him is pretty crazy. We're incredibly excited. Magic was talking about this, just having coffee this morning. If you think of where we are right now, we feel like we have one of the best young cores in the league. We have as much cap flexibility, or cap health, as any team in the league. We know that this is a destination city for players to want to be in. We have a legacy with our franchise that really can't be duplicated, and we've got a pass-first, ball-sharing point guard, in ball, which players want to play with. So I think the culmination of all those forces is, like you said, we feel like we've become a destination again. Now it's going to be Magic's job, and my job with Jeannie's guidance to complete the puzzle with the right pieces as we move forward. Follow USA Today Sports Sam Amick on Twitter.